CarolJo's.com, and my hair is flying away, so we're just gonna go with fly away here today. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to hit the table and make everybody shake. All right. So I'm Carol, the owner and creator behind CarolJo's, where creativity and community come together. Whew. Here at CarolJo's, we do a little bit of everything. It's not just about jewelry, it's about connection, about creativity, and having fun while we're together. Each week, we have 2 tutorials, we have 2 chats, and we have several other live events where you can claim some of the items used to create the tutorials that we talk about. Tonight is tutorial night. Yay! Thank you, Ashley, for sharing everything out. Once we get 10 shares, which we already got, but thank you, Ashley, and 10,000 likes, we will then start doing giveaways. So yes, that's what we got going on. So thank you. What we're going to do for tonight's tutorial, it is called Dewdrop Charm Anklet Tutorial. Well, hello. I went by so fast I didn't get to see who it was. Let me bring up my backup account so that I can see comments. I forgot to do that. I will only have a backup account of TikTok. I will not be able to see comments on YouTube because I do not have a backup account. Sorry. All right. So let me see. Well, dear Lord. I thought I changed it. Nope, I did not change it. There we go. We're getting it changed. All right. There we go. Now I can see comments. Hi, Cece. That's who flew by and I couldn't see. But tonight, hello, Rosie. We are going to make, this is an anklet. So it'll look like this when you wear it. It has on here different colors. I have 3 different colors of the, what are they called? 6x4 millimeter teardrop that are faceted. And then we have 3 charms on this. I'll bring that up close so you guys can see. Whoops, my fingers got that one from Stops It from dangling there. I'll show you over here. And it is using a lobster claw clasp and 2 6mm split rings to use for the closure. You can use as many beads on here and as many charms as you want, but I am going to show you how to do this using 3 charms. When I always do jewelry, it was always done with the odd number thought in place because odd numbers is pleasing to the eye. I am just going to show you what we're working on here, Dustin. Thank you. And so you can put as many and as close together as you want them to be. I just wanted them separated a little bit so that when you're walking, you're going to get a dangle on that. So I'm going to do the next one with a 3 charms. And then I'm going to use those same color beads, but I don't know if I'm going to use all of them or if we're going to switch it out. I haven't decided that part yet. And I made this to fit my ankle, which is a larger ankle than most people. So I made this 10 inches. One of the ladies that I do anklets for, she's 8.5. So anklets are just like your bracelets. They have different sizes. Everybody has a different size ankle. I have a baby wrist. I have a gigantic ankle. Why God made me that way, I have no idea, but it's just the way I'm made. All right, so I'm just going to show you this one more time, and then I'm going to point you down so you can see all of the tools that we're going to use and what we're going to use for our supplies. All right, here we go, everybody. Oh, no. Geez, you guys are getting the snow that we had, Joya. We had snow on Saturday. As I say, Rose also is getting snow. She's getting slushy snow. And I'm going to move this down to the edge. There we go. I have a ruler so I can measure out the length of chain that I'm going to use. We're going to need our round nose pliers, a chain nose plier, and a cutter to put all of the beads in that dangle that we're going to dangle off of the, what is that called? Chain. Wow. I'm going to use 2 chain nose pliers so that I can open and close my jump rings to put things onto my chain. I will also be using the split nose, or not, this is split ring, not split nose, split ring pliers. Can things not come to me today on how to talk? Oh, you're getting it too. Oh my. For items to make these, I have 3 charms. I just picked out a star, a moon, hi Candy, and a butterfly. So this is the butterfly that we're going to be using. So we have those 3 charms. I have 2 6mm split rings on my table here, and I have a lobster claw. We're going to be using this pile of jump rings to put it on the chain. This is the chain that I'm going to be using today. You can use whatever kind of chain, but this is what that I'm using. Jeez, well, everybody stay warm. It was down to, this morning when we got up and took Buttercup to the bus, it was 16 degrees in South Dakota. And then we're going to use head pins. The head pins are used with the beads to create that dangle. The color of beads that I have, I've got black, I have this blue, and I have clear. With this one, I think I'm going to stick with the blue and the clear and put those 2 on. I don't know that I want the black. Oh my, you're lucky. They're rocky. I was going to say, it was not that warm here today. I have no idea how many of these dangles I want to make. I'm going to plan it out here in just a second. I'm going to take some of the beads off of the strand and put them on my bead mat. I need to get off of my leg. I've been sitting on my leg and that is going to hurt me. So let me get off of that and let's get back up here. There we go. All right. We're going to get the blue out. Man, we wish. But, you know, I live in South Dakota. It's cold here in the winter. Thank you, Robin. This one is, was this last year's sweatshirt? Every year they come out with a different sweatshirt. All right, we got some bead piles. We have that. So once again, I'm going to use 10 inches of chain. This opens and closes because it's got the slit in it for each link of the chain. So I'm just going to open that up, take off the extra, and then close it back up. Whoops. And I'm going to have to get my glasses on, I can tell already. There we go. All right, I'm going to get my glasses, everybody. Yep, thanks, Joya. I'm remembering because I can't see very well. Oh, okay. We're going to plan this out. And how I plan this out is that I'm going to place these, and they're just random right now, and then I get to decide, do I want these to be a little bit further apart and have more in there? So maybe we'll go blue, clear, blue, clear, blue, and maybe just do a clear in the, oh, I might do that. I don't know, we'll see here. Do that same over here. So we have blue, clear, blue, clear, blue, and then blue, blue, clear. I think that's what I want. Whoops, this is the blue bag. So I'm going to put these in here, and I'm going to put the clear away. All right. Let me see. We have 3, 6. I'm just counting what I have on this one. 3, 6, 9, 12. Do I have enough to put 3 in between? Hold on. I'm just counting this out to see. 1, 2. Yep, I have enough. There's one. Not enough there. I might not have enough to do that whole thing. I might only have enough to be able to do this way. So I'm going to set these up here for a second. Okay. There's a reason why I'm saying this out loud. All right. We are going to put our beads on the head pins. You can change up this pattern to however you want. In the example that I showed you before, there is every fourth link, I was adding one of the color dangles, whether it be black, white, or black, clear, or the blue. And I just realized I put this bead on upside down. There we go. When you have teardrops, one side of the bead is going to be larger around than the other side. They are a 6 by 4 millimeter faceted teardrop. And I'm going to have the large end of the faceted teardrop be at the bottom towards the flat part of the head pin. In tomorrow night's bead event, you will be able to get all 3 of these beads up and be able to claim them. They'll be up for claim tomorrow. If you have a head pin that is a little bit bent at the tip and the bead didn't want to go down, you can just grab the pliers and kind of see if that will work. He is a little bit fat on the top, so we're just going to grab another one. We'll get rid of that one and we'll do this one instead. And then we'll do one at this end. See, he's a little bent, so I don't know if he's going to work or not. We're going to try it. Bending it straight again and see. Nope, he is not going to work with that bead. There we go. All right, now, first step. I just pick up my chain. It is 10 inches long because that's what's going to fit my ankle. As I always say, I have a kinkle because it's a swollen ankle. I'm going to move this out of my way because I don't need this anymore. Just put it in my container there. I am going to take my jump ring. Whoops, hold on. Before we even begin that, we are going to create the dangle for all of these. And we're going to put all of our jump rings and charms on at the same time. So I jumped ahead. This is the dangle that we have instructions for. I have it. It's just, I just didn't grab it. I have that nylon straightener. We've given the instructions for doing this portion of the dangle. What it is that you are using the head pin as like your post for wire wrapping. I will slow down on the next one and give you directions on how to do it. This is bent down too far. I can't get it. Yeesh. Hold this. I need this to go up a little bit. I don't have enough room in there to cut. I put it down on the bead too far. There we go. All right. So let's show you an example. On my pliers, you will see there is a black line. I put that black line when I am doing more than one, like if I'm making a pair of earrings or like here where we have a whole set of dangles. The reason being is that will make them consistent then. You will line up your head pin to touch the bottom of your round nose pliers here on that line. Take your head pin piece that's sticking up, push it 90 degrees away from you, reposition the tool 45 degrees within there. So you'll see that they're in an angle in there, and then push this around till it comes to the bead almost. Then reposition your tool by putting that bottom one on the top and then finish out that circle. That will create a loop for you to be able to dangle this down from. using either your, I use my round nose all the time because my round nose, this is smaller. It will hold, and then grab your flat nose or your chain nose plier and wrap that around what I call the post and create like a barber pole. Let me see if I can show you here of the loops. It's not very straight, and that's okay because you can always use your pliers to straighten things out. But we have enough room to get our flat nose pliers in there and cut off that extra edge and throw that extra edge away. That's when you can take a pair of pliers or your round nose and then straighten out that and make it a straight loop. It is cold. I need to put another line on my, it's going away. So let me put a little bit darker line. There we go. All I do is use a Sharpie to put that line on there. Right now it's darker. Might not look it to you, but it is here. So once again, down to the bottom of the top of the bead, 90 degrees away, reposition 45 degrees in there, bring this around over the top, take that pliers, reposition this on the top, and finish out that circle. If you don't put that 45 degree in there, you're going to end up with a D loop instead of an O loop. Grab your pliers, wrap that around the pole, but don't wrap it on top of the wire you're circling around the pole. And then cut it off. Do that again. And you just repeat that same process for all of those that we're going to make that loop for. Now, you're probably wondering, why in the world am I not using the one-step looper to do this part? There's a good reason. This is going to be on an ankle. One of the things that you guys don't think about, but let's take a moment and think about when you walk around, how many times do you accidentally hit your ankle bone on something and then you're like, oh crap, that hurt? Or is that only me? Because I have the cankles. I am out. I am out of bead stoppers right this minute. I have them on order and they're on a ship coming to me. So I don't know which order they're in off the top of my head. I can look after the live and let you know. Okay, you stub your toes all the time. I don't stub my toes. I hit my ankle bones on the side of my bed all the time. And that's what I was going to say is that we are very hard on our feet and our ankles. And so I don't do the one-step looper. Okay, you're welcome, Lulu. And thank you, Jessie, for asking. We are very hard on our bodies. And so with that, I just don't want to use the one-step looper because they are going to fall open. And then you're going to lose your dangle. Why am I saying your ankle? You're not going to lose your ankle. You're going to lose one of the colored dangles. And then your pattern isn't going to be there. And if you're me, I'm symmetrical. And so because it's not symmetrical, I just couldn't wear it anymore until I fixed it. And then I don't usually fix it. So then it just sits. And then I go, someday I'll get to it. Oh, holy buckets, Lulu. That would hurt, but then you couldn't feel it. So, okay. Oop. Those are my notes that I have typed up beginning, so I can do the beginning of each intro. I'm still not good at it. There we go. That would be a problem. That would, I'm just like, yeah. I've never broken one, but my goodness, that would have to have hurt. Because when I stub them and it hurts, I'm like teared. And then we're almost done. We have 3 more. So if you notice, I am a very symmetrical person. I mean, when I did the first one, if you noticed, the yin yang were on the outside here, and I was okay with that. This one, I'm having a little bit more harder time because it's not symmetrical in the aspect that these two are not the same. I know, it sounds really weird, but that is, if you've ever noticed, my patterns continuously repeat when I create. It is really hard for me to create when it is not identical or on each side. I am a very, that's just the one thing. I was gonna say, you're lucky you couldn't feel, but then it sucks when you went to try to put shoes on and they wouldn't go on. I don't know if anybody else is like me on the aspect of things have to be so symmetrical. But for me, it is one thing that is very like, yep, I got to be that way. I don't do things where one side looks different than another very often. I probably can count on one hand how many necklaces are that way. There. One dangle left. He goes there. All right. Now we're going to start the process of adding everything to our anklet chain. When I was going to say, Robin, if you go to where all the videos are for replay, I am actually doing it from the angle of like you sitting where I'm at and looking at it like you're looking at it. So that means that it's really easier for you to be able to see that. If you look at the other social media where the replays are at, it is called Dangle Earrings for that video. And it is a really good, that's why I always say go watch that. And the reason being is that it's from an angle that makes sense for you to be able to see step by step what to do. And if you have problems, let me know. I will help you, okay? Yep. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, Christine, you're like me. I can't even have, and that's really hard for me to make natural earrings because no beads are identical for natural earrings, and it's just really hard. So if you notice, these are a 6mm size jump ring, but these are like an 18 or a 20 gauge wire. It is a heavier gauge, meaning the smaller the number, the larger the smaller the number for gauge means the thicker the wire is. So when you go to put these on, we want to have one of those thicker jump rings. If you don't have thicker, then you can use the split rings and put them on the split rings. But the thing that stinks about split rings is then you end up either having to put the split ring on each one of these as you go to attach it or open up the link to be able to do that. So I just happen to always use thicker gauged, smaller number, thicker gauge jump rings. I say go with an 18 to a 20, okay? To open up a jump ring, Toya, yeah, I know there's a whole face in between the earrings, but you're talking to the person that had her ear ripped when she was little, and I won't wear dangly earrings because of that, because they're off. Even though you can't see it, I know it. I am just that weird. All right, so you find that opening I just use my fingernail or the tip of my finger and find it. You take 2 pliers and you do one towards you and one away from you. You're going to put on the center charm since I am very symmetrical, and I'm starting in the middle. And I grab that link in the middle, maybe. There he is. Go on. There we go. I kept grabbing like 2 links at a time. And I've got my charm and the jump ring in there. Now to close them up, I am going to go the opposite way that I opened it. So the one that went away from me is going to come towards me. And the one that went towards me is going to go away. And you're going to close that up. Make sure you can't even get your fingernail in between there. And then that's your first link. Yes, it is a charm, but that's your first part. Now, the way this chain is, I'm going to bring it up close and I'll do it one social media at a time. If you notice, this chain goes sideways for one, so it's like vertical and horizontal for each chain. I'm going to want, because I want them to all lay very nicely, I am going to go and skip the horizontal. The vertical one for the first one, you can put one in there if you want, but I like the little bit of a space in between to give it its own, and that's what I did here. So there, every fourth one, I add a dangle to. So here we go. I'm going to get a jump ring open. Just one. I had 2 in my hand. There we go. And you're going to want, when it's like this, it's going to be in the down position. I want to put it on the down. I don't want to go up and down, because you're going to put this along your body. You want it to lay flat along your ankle. So we're going to grab a blue. We're going to go to this direction, this side first. I'm going to do one side at a time. So I'm going to bring this, I got to bring this towards me. Hold on. 1, 2, there we go. If you're using a chain that isn't horizontal and vertical like this, like my favorite chain is one that isn't like this, then it doesn't really matter as much. But when you have this style of chain, it does. And I forget the name of what style of chain this is. And I always sit here and double check to make sure. You see how they're both on the downside? Hi, Nordic Luna. That is what you want to do. So we're going to add all of our beads on the horizontal. I don't know how else to call it other than horizontal. And do it. There's actually in the links, it's the 4th link from the last time you added, but it's the second one that faces that direction. So 1, this is my link. I need my dangle, and then close it up. Okay. I check after each one of these how this all goes. Opening that. So if you're making this with a smaller size piece of chain, you might not need as much on it, like of the colored dangles. You might want 3 charms, but you would use less colored dangles if your piece of chain is only 8.5 inches. So that's just some of the things that you got to think about as you are going through this whole process, is how much chain you are using. You could put them closer together if you wanted and just have that close look. I just think, and they will flip around. There we go. See, that's why I wanted it to have those links in between, is it just gives it some space for your eye to stop to look at each item. Hi, Mia. So that is why I do it that way. I do have, I dropped that one. I do have some beads coming, everybody, that I make anklets with that are columns. So once we get those, I'm going to show you another anklet when we get those in. And that one is actually going to be a wire one where you use the wire and the crimp tubes to create that one. I found those beads the other day and I'm like, oh, I'm getting them. Hi, Lori. There we go. We got this. We're going to add on the butterfly. Now with charms, whoops, I totally hooked that one up. With the charms, you have to look and see, is it a one-sided charm or a two-sided? The crimp tubes, I do not carry. All right. And the reason being is that if you have, this one is one-sided. See, it's different. That's the back. I'm trying to get it flipped around on my fingers and it's not wanting to flip. And this is the front. I want to make sure that the front faces the front. So we got 1, 2. So when I go to put this on, if this is the front, I want it to be this way. If you get it wrong, you can always open the jump ring, flip it around, and put it back on and close the jump ring. So don't feel like you have to get it perfect the first time. So there we have our second charm on. I'm going to show you what it looks like with the second charm. There we go. What kind of like a cabochon, Joya? This is an anklet tonight. It is called Dewdrop Charm Anklet. 1, 2. We're going to add on this one. I did only so far because I didn't know how much of this at the end I was going to have. So if you notice here, we've got, let me turn it the right way. I'm doing it so I see it, not you. And I have a little bit extra. I can fill that up if I want to, but I want to do the other side and see where we're at. Oh, you want like these? Okay, we got 10K. Let me bring this up. I am trying to get different shapes of natural stones, and I am looking to see what we can get. So they may not be the teardrop shape. They may be an oval. They may be a square. They may be rondelles. They may be faceted. They may not be. But I'm trying to find other than just circles. Okay. I am Brooklyn. I am making an anklet tonight. Sorry, I was pointed down so I couldn't see comments. So, all right, I got to pick a color. All right. There we go. Go ahead and put a color in the chat. I'm watching. We're playing a game, so if everybody wants to put colors in the chat, you sure can. Oh, 2 people have gotten it over here on TikTok. First was Robin, and second was Nordic Luna. So Robin, you are the winner of the 10K giveaway. The color is amethyst. And what you're going to be getting, Robin, is 5 creative credits towards your list. So congratulations. Yay! Let me point you back down, everybody. You're going to laugh, Joya, when you asked about those. I literally spent some time this afternoon looking for some different shapes of gemstones. Okay. We're going to go this way now. We're going to start with this one here. So I need to get a jump ring and we're going to continue on. I'm getting there. I am getting there. All right. Here we go. And I'm just going to let everybody know. I don't know if everybody is on right now that has paid anytime after 9 p.m. last night. There is no mail tomorrow. It's a federal holiday. It's Veterans Day. So therefore, mail doesn't go out tomorrow. So that's why you haven't seen me package. I was going to package earlier and I was like, hold it. I don't have to package just yet. So I actually took part of the afternoon off to read a book for a while. So I hope you guys are okay with that because I don't do that often. Nope, he did not call. He called me earlier today. He is on his way to Arizona. And he's calling me right now because of my sister's horse. He just didn't know how she would be. You can choose. You can choose whatever metal you want. So for me, the one biggest thing about jewelry is don't wear it in the shower and don't wear it in the pool or at the lake or the river. You know, don't wear jewelry there. So that you can use whatever you want. There's 1, 2. There. Okay. Yep, you can do polymer clay, like the polymer clay Heshi beads. Joya has done that because she loves to wear hers to the pool because she is a water baby. And she has done that. I actually wear 0 jewelry when I go to the pool because I do not want to lose anything in the water. I had a cousin who she inherited. My grandmother gave each one of us a gift of jewelry while she was still alive. She gave us our choices. We got to pick out of, like, she would say, okay, this is what I was thinking for you. Which one do you want? So we got to pick out some jewelry. And my cousin actually she wore it to the river and she lost the ring that she got from my grandmother. And she was so heartbroken. I just have never wore rings and stuff to places like that because I just didn't want that to happen. Okay. So for safety and for that. Yeah. All right. We've got one more dangle, color dangle here. It's on this one. 1, 2, there we go. I am using 6mm jump rings. You can use different size jump rings. The reason why I selected 6mm for this, there was a purpose behind it, and that is because it will lay down and it'll give you a little bit longer area for people to see it in instead of being crowded up against the chain. All right, we're going to put this charm is double-sided. So it has the same on both sides. So it doesn't matter how I put this one on. That's when they are double-sided like that, those are the easy ones and you're like, yahoo, I can do that. So we're going to put that one on. And close that one up. There we go. Yep, you can do those also. You can put them out and then change them out if you would like. Yep, you got it. So what happened? I missed part of the story there. Are you? Oh. Oh no, that stinks, Robin. I read the whole comments now. Oh, that just puts a pit at the bottom of your tummy. Okay, come back here. All right, we have right here 1, 2. This is my chain link. And put that one on. And now we're going to close that one up. All right. Let me count how many links. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep. I have 11 on that side. This side I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I have 11, 11. Woohoo! Yep. Hi, Geraldine. We are making an anklet. Let's get this going this way. There we go. We're making an anklet that we are calling the Dewdrop Charm Anklet, because we've got the teardrop 6x4mm beads, and then we have some charms on it. So there it is. Now, if you notice, we have a length on each end that do not have beads on it. We can put beads on there, or you can leave it without. I left this one without. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is that, you know, you have your ankle. You have the outside that everybody sees, the front that everybody sees, and the back that everybody sees. But they don't see the inside of your ankle here. You know, when you have this, they don't see this inside part. So you don't have to put beads on it if you don't want to. But if you're one that you will look at your ankle and want to look at it and go, yep, I want some pretties on it, add some more to it then. It is totally your preference on what you want to do. There is enough room on this chain that I can do a blue, a clear, and a blue on each side. So that is what I'm going to do now, is I'm just going to create the 4 dangles for each side and put those on. Hi, Julie C. How are you doing? And the thing is that this is just a total 100%. You get to decide how you want to make it. So I'm going to create these 4 dangles really quick. Following the same process that we did to make the others. And then we're going to add all 4 at the same time. Hi, Zuli. I missed Vicky's live. But I have a question. What in the world, because I saw it on the thing, why were you guys talking about ornery? I just have to ask. I missed her live. Buttercup and I were having supper together. I love it. Oh, I missed another one of her tutorials on making resin. Someday I'm going to be able to catch it. So, Ryan's not home tonight, so it was Buttercup and I on our own for supper without him. He usually cooks. So I asked Buttercup what she wanted for supper. Yep, it's a word. I love it. And so she chose the famous bowl, I think is what it's called, from KFC. You know, that bowl that has mashed potatoes, chicken strip or chicken tenders or something like that in it. And then gravy, corn, mashed potatoes, all that mixed together in one bowl. She ate the whole thing and a French fry. If you know our Buttercup, that's a lot of food for her to eat. I was impressed. I can't mix foods. And so I was like, yeah, I'm just having chicken strips over here. I don't have my food touching either. And so, I am not a food toucher person. My food can't touch unless oh darn it, I lost that jump ring. I found it. Unless I want it to touch, which is not all the time. And so, I was like, ugh. But Buttercup and Ryan love those things, and I'm just like, yep, nope, thank you. Okay, so that's what the end is going to look like, where we only had one before, and we're right at there. Yep, I am like, I only have like, I'll eat steak and potatoes together, like a baked potato or mashed potato together on the same bite. And I found accidentally one year, I didn't realize it, but my turkey got into my ranch dressing. And so turkey with ranch dressing is really yummy, but I like ranch dressing on a lot of stuff. Thanks, Vicky, for the heart me. I don't get me mixed food. I like the sectional plates. Nope, bread. I don't eat much bread to begin with, so I wouldn't be there. 1, 2, there we go. There we go. All right, now we have all of our dangles on and all of our charms on. So we have the butterfly, the moon, and the star. So there it is. Now we're going to put on our closure. So 1/2 of our closure is going to be a 6 millimeter split ring, and the other side is going to be the 6 millimeter split ring and a lobster claw clasp. So that's what our closures are going to be. I'm going to test out and make sure my lobster claw clasp springs right. It does. I'm going to grab my split ring tool and open up that split ring and add, whoops, I didn't go back far enough. There we go. And add on my lobster claw clasp onto that split ring, grab my pliers and just move that around. And we got that on there. without ruining our nails. Now, next, we are going to take one of our links on one end. We're going to open it up by going one side towards me and one side away from me. There we go. We're going to put on half of that closure. I happen to have grabbed the split ring only one to begin with. And now we are going to close it up. Practice, practice, practice makes it do that, Joya. There we go. I don't know how many split rings I put onto those in the years, over the years, but it's a lot of practice. I used to do 1,000 at a time. And that, you know, because I made so much stuff, it was just easy just to sit down and use those pliers and do that. I did not get that sealed up as well as it should, so I am going to wiggle this until it gets to where, there we go, that's better. And there we go, we have our closure onto our anklet. Oh, thank you. And there we are. Thank you, Zuli. So this is where the closure is at. Where did it go? Right here on my finger. That's what that will look like when it's all done. But here is the entire anklet. So you have, here's the back. So this is what you're going to see in the side, you know, like by your ankle bone. You'll have that moon and those. When you go to either the front or the back, you will either have the butterfly or the star. So that, I'm going to bring this up so that you guys can see it better. All right, here we go. Thank you for the gifts, everybody. So there is our moon. There's our star. And then on this side, we have the butterfly. Let's get them going the right way. There we go. So this is the halfway point. And do you see how, thank you for the heart me, Robin. So that is how it is. Isn't that just so cool? Just think, for summertime, I'm like loving that idea for the summer. So I do have the 2 color beads that we used for this anklet and the black ones. Those will be up for claim tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Zuli. That was so cute. Thank you, Cece. That one was beautiful too. Butterflies with our butterflies. Those are cute. Thank you. I'm going to take my glasses off so I can see. I can't see. There's something going on with my left or my right eye because that's the one for distance and it's not as clear. I'm noticing that lately, but with that on, I still can't always read it. I don't wear anklets year round because they'll be in a sock and I can't have them pushing up against my skin. I have to have my anklets loose. Everybody is different. One of my friends, she has to have them tight around there so it doesn't move and such. And she doesn't take hers off ever. It's a preference thing. But like I said, don't wear your anklets in water, whether it's your shower, it's the pool, the river, the lake. Don't wear your jewelry there. It can be, I have a larger ankle and mine is 10. And then to get my little bit of extra wiggle room in there, the clasp, which is about a 1/2 inch. It's about a 1/2 inch for that closure there. But I have a very large ankle. Other people are more towards the 8.5. So it can go, the permanent jewelry that you can wear all the time. You can't take it off. But I don't know. Okay, so I have a question. They're usually more dainty, aren't they, with those? So can I ask, are they more dainty? I'm like, yeek about getting it. Okay. And then that might be where it doesn't push on you. Did it feel like something was crawling on you? Yep. She put that in there. I'm like, oh, I can just see. She's going to be like, something's crawling on me. Yep. And if you don't like it, I can totally see that happening. Okay. I might have to like think about that because it's like, and you have bracelets too. Okay. I've seen them. It's not, it came out for a little bit here, but then it didn't like do. Okay. Yep, the non-dangle, which is the other one that I want to show when I get those beads in. The beads that I'm talking about, they are like a tube or a column size, little small bead. But the way those are with the colors and how bright they are, I want to make sure that these are what I want to show you that because I have a vision in my mind. I requested those beads and they're on their way. So yeah. Yep, you can do stainless steel and then yep, you got it. Woohoo! Awesome. You have to show pictures of it. So, but what I was going to say is I have another idea for different anklets that you guys will be able to, I'm hoping those will be what I want, and I'll show you those. She wears stainless steel. So everybody's over here on TikTok talking about using stainless steel to be able to wear in the pool or the water, that type of thing. And also about the permanent jewelry, which is usually stainless steel or gold. The ones that I've seen. All right. But tomorrow, just to let you know, I will have a bring back event where we are bringing items back for another round. There will be different earring wires, no silver. We've got gold, antique bronze, and gunmetal, I believe are the colors. There's 3 colors available. We'll have those. We also have lots of different sizes of beads that will be there for you to be able to claim. I'm trying to think of what else do we have. There's some other things that I can't think of right off the top of my head. I actually have everything ready to go for tomorrow's event. That bring back event is at 2 p.m. Central. Then tomorrow night, we're going to have a bead event. We're going to have, like I said, the 3 beads that we have here. I have an aluminum chain that will be able to be claimed. We have different, we have some chip beads. But that's an exciting time for you, Joya. Hopefully you'll get everything done. We have some chip beads that are natural. We have emerald of those little small dangles. And then I don't remember what color of the pave glass butterflies. We're going to have those. And we have some other things I can't think of off the top of my head. I should be able to think of them. I picked everything out. I was working on that while watching Ryan's Bucks lose and me watching the 49ers lose. No, the chip will be 8 p.m. tomorrow night. That is May. Emerald is May. I'm like 99% sure I did emerald. You're welcome. So yes. Yep, it is. I was like shouting at the TV because our games weren't going the right way. And Buttercup was in her room and she came up to eat supper with us last night because she didn't want to watch football with us. No way. And she was so funny. She goes, yeah, I could tell your guys' games didn't go the way you wanted. I would hear a no. And then I heard a no. And I go, the no was me. And the no was Opa. And she's like, yep. I know it's May. I just can't remember. I have one other color after that, and then I am out, or I don't have, and I'm empty until we get the restock. Yep. We have, it's called Superbox, and it allows you to watch any TV channel. And so we go to a Sacramento channel, and when the 49ers play at home, we found a channel there that's local that televises the games. It's not local, but it's far enough that we can get that one. So we watch, for the 49ers, we watch this channel in California, and out of Sacramento. And then for Ryan, there is, I think it's the Orlando station. They're new, Patty. Those are new. I have one scheduled for tomorrow, and I'll have another ship on Friday. No, there's not a fee for it. You have to pay for it once, and then there's no other fees. It just broadcasts in all the local channels and stuff, so that's how we can watch any of the football games that we want to watch. We just got to find, like, if it's a home game, like a San Francisco channel won't televise it, but like Sacramento will. So you just have to find a town nearby that will televise it, and then you've got it. We're figuring out which ones we are for each of the NFLs to go to. Ryan's game, though, was actually televised here yesterday, so we got to watch it on regular TV yesterday. But my game, we had to go to the Sacramento channel. So we only have it for one TV in our whole house. So we always have to watch football in the same room. Because you only have, can only put a super box on one TV. It isn't for the whole house. So, yep. So that's what we do. That's how we watch our football games at home, and don't have to go out. Don't have to pay a lot of money. It was a lot of money to buy the super box at once, but then after you get to watch that, we don't go out to eat or anything like that. So it actually, in the long run, saves us money. That's my 2 cents on that. All right, everybody. Yes, you do have to have Wi-Fi for it. It's a streaming thing. Yes, it will replace cable. Yep, it does. And the price has gone up since we bought ours. I don't know what the prices of them are now. I don't know that. There's like 2,000 channels, and I don't surf it. That's Ryan's. The TV is Ryan's domain, of all things. I don't watch hardly any TV. And so he gets me set up to my games, and then I tell him to leave it. Okay. And so that's my thing, and why it works for us. I don't know, but it really does replace it. When you get tax in there, it'll probably be closer to the other number. All right, everybody, I'm going to go get Little Miss B Buttercup. Holy buckets. But does that include your internet then too, Patty? Okay. I was going to say, ours would be around like 185-ish, 200 when you include both. All right. Thank you, Lori. Everybody, I will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. for the Bring Back event, 8 p.m. tomorrow night for the Bead event. That will be on TikTok only. Sorry, YouTube. I don't do those on YouTube. But yeah, that would be, yep. That would be why. All right, everybody. Good night. See you.